Good evening and welcome to Real Fellas Talk Sports. I have the privilege of being your host. My name is Larry Abels, and let me introduce you to the fellas as we go around and talk about the week in sports. NBA heavy this week. Let me start off with Greg Fenner. How you doing, Greg?
I'm doing great, broadcasting from the capital of North Carolina, Raleigh, taking the show on the road, brother.
Hey, way to do it, Greg.
Yes, sir.
And longtime friend, number 49 there, Chuck Snowden. How you doing, Chuck?
Mr. Abels, I'm doing well. As y'all know, it's Wednesday at 7. I love to chop up the week in sports, so I'm looking forward to getting into it. And I'll address the 49 in my closing comments.
Okay. And a loquacious one from Indianapolis, Indiana. Mr. David Burnett, how are you?
I'm doing fine, celebrating Ball State University's trip out to Los Angeles to play UC Irvine in the men's college volleyball championship, playing in the semifinals. Back in my day at Ball State 50 plus years ago, Ball State was a national volleyball power, and they even hosted the National Volleyball Championship in the 70s. So good luck to the Cardinals and good luck to the rest of this show.
All right. Well, since we last spoke, when we hung up last time, or we ended the show last time, there were 6 series still going on. So we're going to catch up with those 6 series, talk about the outcome, and then we'll talk about the series going forward. Let's start with the Knicks and the Hawks. Chuck, when we last broadcast, that series was pretty tight. The Knicks ultimately prevailed. What do you think the key to that series was?
I think this is what I think. First of all, I think the light switch came on, and I don't know what, but I think the most strategic thing that happened was they started giving Cat the ball, not to score more or to be down in the post, but just almost to run the offense through him. So he would get the ball and make the pass. Took some pressure off of Brunson in terms of handling the ball all the time. And ever since they did that, they have been on an absolute roll. So I think that was the tactical or the most strategic thing they've done, and everything else has just fallen into place. And I've always said they have a good starting 5, a really good starting 5 on that team.
I noticed the same thing. It was almost like he became, I don't know, I want to say Magic Johnson,
Point center.
Well, I'm going a little far with that, but it was a different approach and, gave New York a new look, and it worked well.
Yeah.
David, your opinion on that series?
Well, the Knicks, I gotta apologize for my criticism of Mike Brown. I've been very critical of Mike Brown over the years, saying he's not, he just didn't have the profile that I like. But I think he's lit a fire under the Knicks, and he's gotten Cat to do what Cat is supposed to do at 6'11", 7 feet. And Brunson is Brunson. He, as the Knicks go, as Brunson goes, even though he hogs the ball all the time. But then, the Hawks collapse. Let's just be honest about it. You don't get beat by damn near 50 points unless you collapse. And they did. But the Hawks were lucky to even be there and have 2 wins out of it. That's what I saw.
Greg, your take on that series, how it ended up?
So I'm a side with David too with regard to Mike Brown. I've been a little rough on the brother too, but I will tell you, I think he made some really good adjustments. When McCullough got hot, they made some adjustments and clamped down on his butt, and all of a sudden he couldn't get his shot so easily. But I think they just turned up the defensive intensity to the point that they suffocated the Hawks. I don't think the Hawks had anywhere to go. And one thing that I think Mike Brown has really learned from his predecessor is you got to go deep in that bench. And so now against the Hawks, man, they brought a couple of waves of players in there. Guys, I didn't even know their names. I didn't even know who they were, but they're on that floor and they playing hard basketball. So I think I give a lot of credit to Mike Brown. Big Body Brunson's going to do what he's going to do. So I love it, man.
Okay, Greg, I'm going to stick with you. The next 3 series in the East, I'm a hoop junkie. 7 games is good. 3 out of the 4 series in the East went 7 games. Greg, I'll stick with you. I know this isn't one of your favorite ones, But did you catch any of the Cleveland and Raptors games and how that ended up?
Okay, so I watched Game 7, and Jared Allen went berserk. And I've always said that Cleveland has really good players. Not a big Jeff Atkins fan, not a big fan of him, but the players they have, they can do a lot. I still say it was the weakest series of all. It got boring, but Game 7, there's no such thing as a boring Game 7. No such thing, right? So Game 7 was good, and I love how Jared Allen played. He just took it to him. So yeah, I take it all back, Brown. I take it back to the Cavs and the Raptors. I take it back.
I mean, it was a pretty, that game, that series, the points were tied through 6 games when they were 3-3, and they were tied 49-49 at halftime of that game. David, what did you think of that series and how the outcome?
Cleveland was supposed to win that series. The Toronto Raptors are a very good team this year. They had a homeboy leading them. But Cleveland, James Harden, I apologize, James, at least for this series. Every series that James Harden plays is weaker than it should be. But Cleveland is a better team.
Kung Fu.
Kung Fu, welcome.
What's up, Kung Fu? We were missing you the last couple of weeks. We're glad to see you back.
And that's all I got.
Chuck, what was your spin on that series?
So I thought it was, like you said, it was even, those two teams. And this is going to be a theme, and injuries are part of this whole thing, right?
Yeah.
And without Ingram on the floor to help them in Game 7, I thought that was a blow for them because they're not, super deep, Toronto. But I thought Scotty Barnes was fine. I thought JT Barrett was great. What a shot he made when the ball went up, came back down, went through, which got them to Game 7 or Game 6. So I thought it was a competitive, even series. I didn't think Mitchell or Harden played great in that Game 7, but Greg is right. Jared Allen had 22 points and 19 rebounds, and he was a beast. He was an absolute beast. So kudos to Cleveland. I agree with Greg too. Cleveland is missing something. I think it's the grit. It's the grit that Detroit shows sometimes, or Houston shows sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Their level of toughness is just because they got a lot of talent.
They are talented. Yes, they are talented.
They don't show that toughness.
One thing I observed, all of these are going to be about matchups too. You might look even against one team, dominant against another. Those teams look pretty evenly matched.
Yeah.
And Chuck, you touched on Ingram being hurt. I don't think he was ever himself that whole series. And I think the fact that they set him down the last 2 games makes me think that he probably was injured going in there. I know their starting point guard was out the whole series. So Cleveland got a little lucky because I didn't think they played particularly well either. But that third quarter of Game 7, they did enough to win.
Mm-hmm.
Chuck, I'll stick with you. Another game that was neck and neck series that was neck and neck, the Pistons and the Magic. You had a number 1 seed, and this is the first of 2 series where a team trailed 3 games to 1 and was able to come back. We had the number 1 seed coming back against the number 8 seed. What did you think of that series?
Unbelievable, right? That one, what was that? Was that Game 5? When in the second half, Orlando made 1 shot in the fourth quarter. They were 1 for 20. They were 4 for 34 in the second half. And I think it's just amazing. Again, I think this is also a theme. If the jump shot's not falling, some of these teams don't have a plan B. They can't dump it into somebody or drive the ball more or get inside the 3-pointer and just take a 2-pointer. But they just couldn't hit. They couldn't hit anything. And I'm telling you, Detroit is lucky to have won that series. They are lucky because I've never seen a team shoot so poorly in that second. They were down 17 points in that game.
Yep.
And
you saw one team almost shoot as poorly because what you're talking about, I think at one point, Orlando had missed 17 shots in a row in the second half, but in the first half, Detroit had missed 13 shots in a row. That's how they ended up being so far behind.
100%. So again, Detroit has that grit. They don't give up. I love Cade Cunningham. In fact, I'd almost want to pose a question to you guys later. You know, who is the best currently American born basketball player right now? I think it's Cade Cunningham.
We'll touch on that. Then we can touch on that.
Well, I don't know.
Greg, what did you think about that series?
Yeah, I thought Detroit, they are so lucky.
Oh.
I mean, they dodged a major bullet. It would have been so embarrassing for a number 1 seed to get bumped by 8 seed play-in team. That would have been that's the kind of thing that costs head coaches their jobs. I mean, that could have been really catastrophic in a lot of ways. And I love JB Bickerstaff, but I didn't think it was possible for an NBA professional basketball team to miss 21 straight shots. And I'm telling you, that stats, I don't do stats, but that stats burned in my brain.
Right.
21 straight shots to miss is unthinkable. I thought that Paolo Banchero just played incredible. He really challenged, man. He did everything he could. Bain played well. They just didn't have. I think Suggs kind of was in and out. I don't think he was there. And I have a lot of. I think he has a really good game. I think he's nowhere near his ceiling. But I thought Suggs was kind of MIA. But those two are living proof that you got to have some big players. You can't. Guards are not going to get you there. And those two guys, Banchero and Bain, played their butts off, man. But they just couldn't carry the day. But it was a good series. I thought it was a good.
The theme of our injury thing that we mentioned earlier, again, they had Mo Wagner back with that team early in the series, and then he couldn't play the last couple of games.
Exactly.
I think that hurt them too, as well.
Yeah.
If they'd have had Mo Wagner, then Cade Cunningham would have been neutralized a little bit. And in fairness, Greg, you mentioned play-in team, the Magic. The Magic were much better than just being a regular play-in team. I think they played the Pistons fairly well through the regular season. And it was quite a shootout with Cade Cunningham and Paolo Banchero.
Mm-hmm.
And
one game,
I mean, one of the most dramatic. Let me finish. One of the most dramatic shootouts that I've seen in a long time. Cade Cunningham. I've been critical of Cade, and justifiably so. I think I have a pretty good eye for basketball. Yeah, I see. I heard that. I heard that. I'm a Pacer fan, so I know basketball. In 49 states, it's basketball, but this is
I
Indiana.
love it.
Anyway, the Pistons were supposed to win, and JB Bickerstaff. I think you guys are right. If Bickerstaff had lost, there'd have been a lot of howling, because the Pistons were supposed to win. They were the better team, and they were the number 1 seed, so they were supposed to beat the Magic. But the Magic were not chumps, not at all.
And Mosley did lose his job.
Yeah, the other coach lost their job up 3-1. When you talking about shootout, that game 5 was incredible. Both of them got 45 points. Right, Gerald? Oh man, that was incredible.
That was so cool too, because we just debated the week ago how David thought Paolo was like, really, really good. And I'm like, I think Cade is special. And then that night, both of them went to work.
I've always felt like they were the same
player. Did you ask last week whether they're the same player or something?
Yeah, I said that.
They got 45 that night. I was thinking about that when I was watching the game.
I don't think Mosley should have lost his job, man. I really don't. I think he got a lot for what he had. I think he got a lot out of that team. I think that's an unfair firing.
Well, hold on, Greg. I don't disagree. I think that was a regular season firing. I think the people were disappointed because at the beginning of the year, and David alluded to this, those two teams weren't that different. I mean, they weren't that far apart. And unfortunately, Orlando had a tough year during the regular season. And I think that's what
Orlando doesn't take basketball. Orlando has never taken basketball that seriously. They seem to have a rotation of coaches all the time. And it's over and over and over.
He's been there 5 years.
5 years, though. Yeah. He's been there 5 years.
The injuries got him. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
it's the injuries, in my opinion.
Chuck, I think you're right, but I think that blowing that 3-1 lead kind of
Didn't
stung
help.
him a little bit
It
too.
sure didn't help, did it?
Yeah.
But again, Mo Wagner, he didn't play those last couple games. You see what I'm saying? They were a different team when he was in there.
Well, expectations sometimes are unrealistic.
And Suggs early in that series, Suggs did play well. And
Yeah,
then
he just
but
and
that
then he
last
just
couple
vanished.
Yeah,
His shot was off though.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So David, I'm gonna stick with you talking about teams coming back from 3 games to 1. Boston, who I've been saying they were gonna win. We could watch the tape for weeks. I was wrong about that. Not only did they not win, they lost in the first round.
Yeah.
How did Philadelphia come back from 3 games to 1 to beat Boston?
Because Boston's a knucklehead team. And, you know, if you shoot 3-pointers recklessly, over and over and over, what do they say? If you do the same thing over and over and expect a positive result, you're crazy. You know, the style of play is damaging. You got to go to the hole. And the 76ers got great play from Embiid. And they played as a team. Playoff Paul George played well.
Yes.
You know, he played like what the 16-year veteran that he is. And he knows the game. And I think he knows his role. So Philadelphia, but I think, you know, the train has come to a stop in Philly. But they did at least beat Boston, and Boston ought to be ashamed of themselves. You don't lose a 3-1 lead. I don't care what the deal is. You know,
Greg,
even losing your best player.
Sorry about that. Go ahead, Dave. I'm sorry.
No, I'm done.
Okay. Greg, your spin on it.
Well, I'm going to always go back to why is it that every other team in the league understands when they're not making a 3-ball, take the ball to the damn basket, except the Celtics. They're the only team that seems to just say, hey, man, keep firing them up. They're going to fall. Just keep firing them up. But I will say this, man. I've been dogging Embiid for years about his he was load managing when load management wasn't a thing, right? He was load managing then. But a man that gets his appendix out and 17 days later is on the basketball court floor, diving on the floor for balls, scoring over everybody, blocking shots, he gets my respect. He was the difference in that series. And I'll tell you, it hurt him, of course, that Tatum was out the last game. That hurt a lot, and I thought Brown got caught up, you know, in a jaw-jacking, you know, escapade with Embiid. Is like, dude, focus on the game, man. You going back and forth with Embiid and this, you know, this backyard ball you playing, you losing. I mean, you getting ready to lose, son. So I just thought that the Celtics, who I've been picking to come out of the East, folded like a lawn chair. I think they just folded.
Chuck, your spin on the series.
Well, I've been saying it all year long. Or every time I see Boston, I don't watch them on a regular, but every time I see them, they just jack. They just shoot, man. And I mean, not more than the other teams. I know everybody's shooting, but they shoot 50 threes.
Yeah.
50. So the 4 losses that they had in this series, the 4 losses, they shot under 30% from 3, and they still shot a big volume of 3. Also in Boston's case, which is kudos to their regular season, after Tatum, Brown, and White, it's a pretty big drop-off on that team, you know? They don't have a ton of talent. A lot of those guys, I didn't even know who they were. And they definitely started a weird starting 5 at the beginning of that game in the game 7 up in Boston. The guy from Murray,
Harper's son.
Yeah, Harper's son. This is a weird lineup. But again, just launching the threes, not having a backup plan. I don't know if the front office let them down because they lost Horford and they lost Porzingis. Maybe they just didn't have a guy inside to help them out.
Well, this was supposed to be
a rebuilding year.
A rebuilding year.
Cutting the payroll.
You know, but they weren't even expected to be this far, to be honest with you. They won more games than was expected.
Right. And kudos to Embiid, kudos to Maxey, kudos to VJ Edgman, and who am I? And Paul George. Those four, for a big part of that whole thing, played really, really, really well in this series. And I think they played so well and so much emotion was taken out of them because they ended up on a Saturday, I think, and they played the Knicks on a Monday.
Yeah.
I thought they were spent. So I thought Monday's performance was a result of that Celtics series.
Well, they were blown by the second quarter. They were blown. They were gassed.
They were gassed.
Yeah.
Well, I thought about you a lot because you were talking about them shooting threes. And one guy you left out that I would give credit to is Pritchard. I think he's played well all season and he shot well. But what Philly did to me was they stuck with them. They didn't switch. Everybody stuck with their man. And that kind of threw Boston off, and they couldn't guard Embiid. They had
that was true. They didn't
There's no answer for him. But that game was still close. It was, Philly had a 1-point lead, and 3 times Boston got the ball and missed shots. And Philly was missing shots right back. Mm-hmm. So right at the end, then Maxey hit, he got hot and hit like 3 or 4 shots right in a row. But that game went right down to the wire, just the way I like them. Game 7, the hat goes off. So
I think Philly, again, we can't discount when they're healthy. Philly has talent when when they're healthy.
Yeah, but Embiid is obviously not in shape. He hasn't played much this year. And when they played the first game against the Knicks, that we'll get to in a second, when they took him out of the game, Philly had nothing going on there, and he couldn't go back in. That's the problem. One of the problems. But while
when
we
has
were
he
Boston,
ever been in shape? Except his MVP season. You mentioned Embiid was not in shape. I mean, that's par for the course. He's just always hurt.
He's got injury, very bad knees, and I think after his second or third season, his coaching staff, they tried to do the load management. They told him not to even fall down, because he falls down a lot.
A lot.
But they told him to avoid injuries, just go ahead and fall, and he does that a lot. But I think this year he missed so many games. He was not in game shape. Even after the appendectomy, he had just come back right before that, had the appendectomy. So he's really been out. He's breathing hard, but he still plays decent while he's in there.
34. He had 34 and 12 in that was it the last game or the game before last? He had 34 and 12.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if you all saw this, but Jaylen Brown was on the podcast talking about Embiid.
What's up, Patrick?
Well, hey, Greg, I'm getting ready to get to that.
Okay.
That's right. You weren't on our chat.
Right.
So Jaylen Brown said a couple of things on his podcast. One which led to him being fined $50,000 because he's speaking as if the refs have a conspiracy against him. He got fined, I want to say in January, after a game where, in my view, he overreacted to a push and the referees didn't call it. By the time he got in the locker room, he sends out a message saying it's a conspiracy against me. He's still saying that. So I want to get your thoughts on those things. What did you think about that, David? We'll start with you.
Jaylen Brown is one of the great players of this era. He's been in the league, 10 seasons maybe?
He's not.
He's a very good player, but he's not very smart in terms of how to manage his emotions and what he says. That's why he doesn't have very many commercial endorsements, why he's not one of the most well-liked players. And for him to make a comment about some sort of conspiracy or an agenda, as he put it, was thoughtless, stupid. And, he's getting ready he's potentially signing a $70 million a year contract.
Good sign.
He's already got it.
Well, he has a chance. He has a $60 million a year contract now. He has a chance to renegotiate up to $70 million. And he just doesn't understand. And parroting one of the talking heads on TV today who suggests that maybe there is a problem with the fact that he's not the most number one player on the Boston Celtics. And he's a little jealous about that and overreacts because of that. We're getting into some psychological evaluation, and I don't know if I'm if I'm making a whole lot of sense on that, but that's just what I've heard.
Chuck, what do you think? Has he had a history of that, or is it, recent situational unawareness?
So I agree with David. There's something going on, and I don't know what exactly it is. He said that, Embiid was flopping, and he said that, they don't call fouls. And when in fact, we just talked about their tactics in the game. You can't just shoot 50 threes and expect to always win, because there's some nights those things aren't falling. And he's smart enough to understand that. He's smart and he gets calls. I don't know why I think he gets as many calls as, except for Shea. He gets as many calls as anyone else. And for somebody who is as smart as he is, I'm surprised by it. And quite frankly, it might have even kept him off the Olympic team too. You know what I'm saying? Because he was good enough. So I don't know if he's liked or something, but there's something bizarre, because I thought his statements were crazy. I thought he was inappropriate. I thought that was inappropriate, and I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all.
Amen.
Yeah, I've always respected him and had a lot of respect for him, but he seemed like this year he lacked situational awareness. Sometimes when he's on his post-game interviews, he normally says the right thing, but this was a podcast. Greg, did you hear anything else in that podcast?
So I think that he suffers from an acute case of overinflated self-importance. If he thinks he's important enough for the referees to have a conspiracy against him, there are a lot more players I would develop a conspiracy against before I got to him, first of all. But secondly, I hate to see players, when you lose, on any given Sunday you can win or lose, but can you win or lose like a man?
Right.
Win or lose like a man. I mean, take your loss and say what most great pros say. Man, we're going to get better. We'll be better. We're going to get better. Don't blame the referees. These referees, I will tell you, whether you agree with them or not, they are letting these guys play. And some of them, like Brown, are not getting the calls they're used to, and they're pissed off about it. You're not going to get every call. Because you're an $80 million a year superstar don't mean you're going to get every call. And so I think that, first of all, he's overinflated his sense of self-importance. He's not as important to the league as he thinks he is. And to get on a podcast whining about a conspiracy against you and you're not getting the calls, come on, man, grow up. Be a man. Play the game. Fight the fight and win the game and live the fight another day. If you lose, you lose, man. Lose with some dignity and some grace, man. Don't go out like a little whining little child. You know?
By the way, that Celtic team lost to the Knicks the same way last year in the playoffs. I know Tatum went down in Game 7 or whatever, but they said the same thing. They just launch, and if those things aren't falling,
yeah, they blew 2 games against the Knicks by doing exactly what you're talking about, Chuck. But Greg, to give you a little background with him, he had an incident with the Spurs at one point, and he didn't like what happened in that game. So the next game he had this in January when they played the Spurs again, it looked like the guy might have fouled him, but I thought he tried to embellish it, and the referees didn't call it. So that's when he first started saying, by the time he got to the locker room, they couldn't calm him down. He ended up getting tossed out of the game, and he just couldn't calm down, which to me was very uncharacteristic for him. By the time he got in the locker room, he had tweeted out something, "This is the BS I've been talking about." So he got fined $35,000 for this. So I went back and looked at the refs, 2 different sets of refs in both games. So, okay, I want to go to him and say, how many people have to be involved in a conspiracy? Now, when you start saying stuff like that, it might become a self-fulfilling prophecy.
It sounds like he has bipolar syndrome.
I mean, and these refs are humans too. They're not gonna take that trash off you for so long.
That's why I said it might become a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah, you might have talked yourself into getting your clock cleaned a little bit, brother.
Yeah.
There's a famous clip of Allen Iverson. They had him mic'd up, and they were talking. He was talking to the referee, and he said, "All right. What do I have to do to get you to stop?" Because Allen knew he had gone too far,
Right.
and the refs had been starting to, hit him pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So he humbly walked over to one of the refs, and they had him mic'd, and he said, "Hey, look, okay, what do I have to do?"
So let's move over to the West. It was 2 series that were over prior to our last meeting, which was Los Angeles and Oklahoma City at one. But it was 2 other series going on. Not San Antonio and Oklahoma City. There was 2 other series going on that ended up since we last met. Lakers defeated the Rockets. Chuck, did that come as a surprise to you?
To who?
You.
Come on, man. Come on, man. They said that guy's got more playoff wins than the entire Chicago.
Who's that guy?
His name is LeBron James.
Okay, thank you. I just wanted you to clarify your son.
The king. They said he got more wins. He got more wins than the entire Chicago Bulls organization, playoff wins. So, no, it didn't surprise me, especially when KD went down. But it was a pleasure to watch. To watch just the artistry and the intelligence and how he lifted up people like Marcus Smart and Kennard and Rui. It was a beautiful thing. Look, man, the dude is 41 years old. And I know you guys know he's a great player too. So it was just kind of cool. It was really cool. And we knew what was on the other end of that, after he wins that. He's got to go up against this juggernaut. But man, that thing was good to watch. Especially game 6 after he had the stinker in game 5, I think it was.
Yeah.
I don't know how much more we're gonna get from him, guys. I mean, I don't know, right? It's been 23 years. Never missed a playoff. Never missed a playoff game.
David, Lakers over Rockets.
KD was hurt. The Lakers had LeBron. And I'm gonna give LeBron his flowers as he deserved. He's still a very good player. He's not the best player in the sport anymore, but he's among the best players now. Now, is he an all-time great? Oh, yeah, he's one of the all-time greats. He certainly is. But the Lakers beat a deflated Houston team, undermanned Houston team like they were supposed to, even though they were undermanned. But the Rockets just seemed dysfunctional to me. So I expected them to lose, and they did.
They're young. They're very young.
Ray, what do you think the difference in that series was?
I don't often talk about coaches losing a step, but I think Ime Udoka, I think he's lost a step. And I don't know where he lost it. Somewhere between Boston and Houston. He's not quite the strategic coach that he was before. And I know players have something to do with it, but I don't see the adjustments. I don't see the things he used to do as a coach. I think that, their expectations for Thompson were too high. I think he's not a point guard. You're trying to make him a point guard. He's not a point guard. I don't even know that the way that there would have been that much of a difference if he had been healthy, right?
Durant?
I don't even, because Durant can't close like he used to. He misses a lot of closing shots, and so I think that one was going to be over no matter what. Here's what I'll say about LeBron. At 41, he still has the acceleration to chase somebody down and block a shot, to slam, to catch a lob. I mean, he's still doing things. He don't do it every night. He can't do it every quarter. But just to have that, that burst, to do it a few times, but he's like a coach on the floor, man. He's lifting these guys to another level of play. Now, they are, they hit the little bighorn, right? I mean, they about to run into Waterloo, but they've gotten a lot of what they got more out of what they had this year, right? This is not a very good team. This is not a good team. And poor Reeves is like, what? Oh God, go back. You know what? You're not ready yet. Go back to the injury reserve. You're not ready. But I love how LeBron, he gives it all these guys. He coaches these guys on the floor. He keeps them in it. And guys like Smart respond to him, and he gets the most out of him. So I'm a LeBron fan. If Chuck is his daddy, I'm his uncle.
Well, Chuck, I want to go back to you. or let me stay with you, Greg, because you mentioned the coaching. Was it the coach or was it the players? Because when I think about, let me finish the question. The question is, this series really should have gone 7 games because Houston gave them one of those games away. They had a 6-point lead to ball with 30 seconds left, and incredibly crazy decisions on the court that I would expect maybe pros shouldn't make those type of mistakes. What do you think about that? Shouldn't this say, do you think I'm right? This should have gone 7 games?
I think you're absolutely right. I think you're 100% right. But it's something about MA's coaching now. It's different. It's not. It's like he doesn't have the he's not making the adjustments that I watched him make before. So I'm gonna put it on coaching, and I don't think necessarily. I surely don't think JJ Redick is a better coach than him. I surely don't believe that. JJ Redick is a good coach, and he's going to get better and better, but he's a young coach. I think he's going to get better. I do, because I think he's really smart. I think he understands the game well. And listen, as a coach right now, JJ has to do what he thinks as long as LeBron approves, right? So,
Chuck.
Look, they were up 3 games to none, and Houston won 2 games in a row.
Right, and that third game was the one that they gave away.
That was the giveaway game. Yeah, and
you're 100% right. Although, Larry, I would say, and you're 100% right. But does LeBron have to hit that 3 to take it to overtime? I mean, that thing went. That was a sweet shot. You see what I'm saying?
After a couple of head fake,
go to overtime. My point is, sometimes it's a miss or make league.
Yeah. And
if you make it, you advance. If you miss it, like Boston missed a lot, you don't get the advance. So and Houston is young. I'm telling you, Sengun is young. The kid from the shooter, from Alabama, I think he's young, 22, 23 years old.
Yeah.
Thompson's young. I mean, they have a very young team.
Can I say I don't like Shagun?
And I also think this too. Let's we always talk about Embiid. We talk about AD. I mean, it's K. What do we think about KD? What do we think?
He's 37 years old.
Yeah,
but
and he's had a ruptured Achilles tendon not long ago. He's not the same guy.
He's not.
He's not an athletic freak like LeBron.
Right.
He's not. He's never really been healthy all the time. When he came into the league as a kid, he could only bench press 100 pounds.
Right.
He's not a strong guy.
But is he what I'm trying to get to with him is these intangibles that we talk about. He's a Robin, man. He's a Robin to a Batman, and he needs somebody to be a Batman. He is not.
I don't know about that. I mean, he was qualified to be a Batman, but he's 37 now. So I would say you have to put it in perspective.
Where was he a Batman? Where was? Only time he really won
he was Batman. He was Batman in Golden State.
No. Oh, really? He was Batman in Golden State.
He won back-to-back MVPs.
Not because of him. I mean, yes.
Well, he did.
Yes.
But they had a good team when he went there.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
But he played well in Oklahoma City. I mean, I give him credit. He was good in Oklahoma City. They lost.
And he was the Batman there.
But they didn't go nowhere, Larry. Where did they go?
They lost early. They lost to
young.
Golden State the year before, this last year there in Game 7. He was certainly Batman there when they had him and Russell Westbrook, and he played well there. I mean, he was really Batman there to me with a decent team.
I love these Batman and Robin analogies. I love them.
Well,
I do.
I believe in him.
I think he's more of a Robin than a Batman, though.
At this point in his career.
Yeah.
Well, at any point in his career.
No, I'm not going to go
because Batman wouldn't join Golden State, David. Batman doesn't do that. Golden State was loaded.
Wait a minute. A lot of players have been great and gone somewhere. Look at Shaquille O'Neal went from Orlando to the Lakers to join Kobe.
Batman. If Golden State just won the team championship and you lost a 7-game series to them in the playoffs, why would you then leave your team to join them if you're Batman?
because he wanted a bigger market.
Well, but he was Batman with Oklahoma City, and I wish he had stayed there because they were on the rise. Even though I don't know if they're to beat Golden State at any time, but he was actually really taking the lead there. And I don't think anybody else could have beat them that year.
More attention and went to Golden State.
I think the only place he was really a Batman was Brooklyn. And you see what happened there. He's not a Batman.
You don't think so in Oklahoma City?
Yeah, he was, but they couldn't win. I'm saying winning Batman. Batman with a ring.
They won more than they did.
A little too overcritical of KD. He's a very good. He's one of the great players. He scored 30,000 points.
Yeah, and I don't want to
say that. Probably at one point was the second best player in the league next to.
Well, let me ask you. Let me do it a different way. Is Scottie Pippen a Batman or a Robin?
He's Batman.
Scottie Pippen?
Well, when Michael Jordan played, he was Robin. Yeah,
he was Batman.
I don't want to be
1 year.
overly critical of Durant. I'm not. I mean, he's still a super athlete and a fantastic basketball player, but he just couldn't get a team over the hump by himself. He couldn't lead. He could lead the charge over. The hump.
Nobody does that, really.
Well, I mean, he could. Listen to what I'm saying.
Nobody does it by himself.
Listen to what I'm saying. What? He couldn't lead a team over the hump. He couldn't lead them over the hump.
You said by itself.
And I corrected it.
Yeah, nobody does it by himself.
It's a team game. Nobody does it by himself. You're right.
But he probably was the second best player in the league for a number of years to LeBron.
I agree with that.
That's
for a number of years.
Yeah.
Other than LeBron, I can't really say when he was in his prime. I really can't say anybody was better than him.
Nah. KD was a stone cold. I mean, he's probably got more game-winning shots than any active player right now other than LeBron. He's got more buzzer beaters probably than anybody other than LeBron.
You know, joining Golden State, he would just been a great scorer that we wouldn't be talking about that much. He didn't go to Golden State.
Sounds like somebody doesn't like KD.
I don't know, Chuck. I think Oklahoma City, he should have stayed there.
He should have stayed there. You're right.
They had a good team there.
Yeah,
they had a good team, but they lost 3 great players. It was a small market, one of the smallest. It's the smallest market in the NBA.
Okay, and they were in now.
Didn't hurt them last year.
And players didn't at that time.
Yeah.
At that time, players wanted to play in bigger markets, and I believe that had a lot to do not because he felt like they lost to Golden State. I think he wanted to be in a bigger market. I think it's as simple as that.
Burner accounts, Brickley. He's got burner.
Well, you just don't like him.
That's not Batman behavior.
I don't know, Chuck. When he was in his prime, he was pretty good.
He could score.
He's a 30,000 points. He's 30,000 points. That's all needs to be said.
Okay. Trivia question number 1. We had 3 series that where we had back-to-back. Excuse me, we had 2 series this time where we had 3-1 deficits that were overcome this past week.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like a big thing, but when was the last time that happened?
June 18th, 2016. The team was the Cleveland Cavaliers, and they beat the Golden State Warriors on their floor. That's the night he became the GOAT.
Well, your answer, that wasn't the last time it happened, so good guess.
That's one of the times it happened.
Had me convinced.
They was down 3 games.
A father's going to always defend his son.
3 games to 1, whatever.
That did happen, but it wasn't the last time.
3 games to 1.
I don't know.
Down 3 games to 1. I would see maybe Golden State. Maybe Golden State was down 3 games to 1 time.
Well, I'll tell you guys the answer. It was the Denver Nuggets in 2020. They did it against Utah in the second round, and then in the first round they were down 3 games to 1 to the Clippers. So they did it twice in 1 year.
Wow.
So the Utah's been choking forever. That's all they do is choke.
I don't know if they choke. You know, sometimes 3 games to 1, sometimes the team just takes it from you.
Yeah. I'm going to go with choke for 500 points.
Okay. Did Boston choked against Philadelphia?
I think they got
Yes,
choked.
they did.
I think they got choked. Right
Yeah,
at
they
the,
got
right at the
choked.
throw. Yeah.
You shoot less than 30% from 4 games.
Embiid choked them by himself.
Well, that might be it because
Yeah.
he made a difference when he started playing.
Embiid choked them. Yeah, he
Yeah.
choked them.
Okay. Let's move on to the series that are coming up now. Knicks and Sixers. David, I'll start with you. Is this series over with, or was that just an aberration?
It's over.
It's over.
It's over. You know, I have a thing about the Knicks
I know.
because I don't, you know, I respect them, but I always look at it in the terms of 1973 because I don't want them to win a championship in front of the Pacers. In 73, Pacers and Knicks won championships in the last time both franchises won. So if the Knicks win a championship before the Pacers, I'll be sick. But I respect them.
I feel the same way because the Wizards won in 79, 78, so more recent than both of them.
But that said, the Knicks pounded the Sixers, and I mean the Sixers barely showed up, and maybe it was because they were fatigued. It could be, but Joel Embiid, he's not playing this game 2,
Right.
and it's going to be another blowout tonight.
Greg, how do you see this?
Yeah, I think it could get ugly. This will be telling.
Uglier.
This could get uglier. I mean, yeah, I don't see how the Knicks. This should be a sweep. Actually, it should be. This should be a sweep. And if it's not a sweep, then it'll be because the Knicks just stumbled. But I don't think without Embiid, the Sixers are going to give them much of a fight. They're not going to put up much of a tussle. Nah, not much.
He's just out for this one game that we know, right? It's not necessarily the whole season.
So far.
He'll be out many games.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I think that's true, but I wouldn't lay a bet on that because I'm telling you, when that guy got pushed into him and he got hit in his abdomen, I think that might have disrupted something with that appendectomy. I think that's more than the knee injury. I think he's got some gut issues from that because that was a hard push. I mean, that guy put a shoulder right in his gut, man.
Yeah, I remember that.
And that I think that's a problem. So if Embiid doesn't come back, they might as well go ahead and charter that fishing boat. Get ready for that fishing trip.
Hey, Chuck, am I going to get my wish for a 7-game series here?
It's going to be tough, but it's going to be tough. But Larry, they say the series don't start until you win on the other person's floor, right? So even if they lose tonight, they got to go to Philly now and play 2 games in Philly. That ain't the friendliest place in the world to win.
No, it is not.
Right. So they got to get Maxey going. They got to get VJ going, and of course PG. So they still got some tools there, even without Embiid, to play well. But they got to all be clicking. They all got to be clicking. They got to get Maxey going. Maxey did not play well at all the other night.
So speaking of winning on the other team's court, Chuck, and I'll stick with you with this one. Minnesota's up 1-0 on San Antonio. What do you think? How do you think this series is going to be?
Well, I think San Antonio is going to win the series, right? But before we do that, Larry, just quickly let's look back. What a great job of winning that series against Denver, Minnesota.
Yeah.
Right? And the birth of this guy, Jaden McDaniels, that guy is a dog. I like the way he play. And so I shout out to Minnesota. Minnesota's deep too. They got some players on that ball club. I don't think they're going to beat San Antonio. Look, man, San Antonio had a bad shooting night that night and lost by 2. So I think San Antonio will be fine.
Yeah, they had a good look at the end of the game. We might be having a different discussion that had gone in.
100%.
David,
And I think Wemby's going to be a little pissed off about how, because he took ownership. He took ownership there.
Well, he better take ownership of being 0 for 8 in the 3-point line.
Stop shooting them. Damn, get your big ass inside.
Well, he has somebody almost as tall opposing him.
That's
He's not gonna just get
very good point.
free reign in the middle because he knows the man. and they've played together and they've trained together. So it's not gonna be a wipeout. And I'm not so sure Minnesota could win. I mean, Minnesota keeps surprising all of us. They've been in the Western Conference Finals 2 years in a row.
Yep.
It could be 3. And you know, Ant-Man is he's phenomenal. I mean, I know he wasn't as instrumental in this first game, but he
came off
can
the
be.
bench. Okay.
Well, he
That's-
was in the fourth quarter. He was in the fourth
He's
quarter.
Batman. That's
Yeah.
Batman.
Greg, what do you think of that series?
All right. So first of all, Wemby, this one center 4 guard offense is not going to fly against the T-Wolves. I'm telling you, these boys are hungry. Chris Finch is fighting for his job, and for I don't know what happened with Ant-Man the other night, but coming off the bench, he was more focused. He wasn't arguing with the referees. He was totally locked in on winning the game. He had some clutch shots. He is still, I think, the most explosive player in the NBA. Nobody explodes to the basket quite like him, man. This dude is like, he is the Batman. All he's got to do is get his head right, and I'm telling you, he can be unstoppable. But I think that they got to figure out somebody, because Castle was rough and tumble. He'll get in there and duke it out, but Wemby's got to have some more help like that. He doesn't. He can't guard against all these guys. If you catch a night where Randall, McDaniel, and Reed, all these guys are really hitting on all cylinders, Wemby's gonna be like a ping pong ball. He's gonna be just bouncing back and forth, and he's gonna be worn out by the fourth quarter. Now I thought it got close in the fourth quarter, and I thought it was gonna get, but I thought that physically the T-Wolves put something on the Spurs, and they better make some adjustments for that. These boys, I'm telling you, T-Wolves are gangster. I give them that. They may not always play the basketball that I think they're capable of. But them boys gangster. They rough and tumble.
Chuck, did you comment?
I did.
Okay,
I
that's
think they're going to win the series. Bottom line,
Yeah,
but I do like Minnesota, and I don't think that coach is in trouble, Greg. I don't. I think Fitch
No, he's just in trouble with me. He's not in real trouble.
Oh,
He-
okay.
he's done a great job.
Yeah, it's just me. It's just
I
me.
expect that Rudy Gobert will play much better than expected. I mean, even though he's been Defensive Player of the Year 4 times, and he's not an offensive leader, but he's somebody who can play defense, and he's playing against a guy that he knows, that he helped train. And so I think Rudy Gobert is going to surprise us. And so don't be surprised if Minnesota does win this series.
Yeah, he's giving Wemby a little trouble. He's giving Wemby some problems.
Well, the thing about him, he doesn't have to shut them down. Just like when he plays Joker, just keep them without
Keep him
getting
honest.
a 40-point
He
game.
schooled Joker.
Keep him
He
honest. Just
schooled
keep him honest.
Joker.
But Joker had an average 27, 28, which most of the time we would say is good. But normally Joker will get a couple of games.
He'd been much better.
Yeah, he'll get a couple of 40-point games. And as
Right.
long as he can keep both of those guys kind of in the ballpark, they got a shot at it.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Chuck, are the Lakers going to beat the Thunder, man?
No way. No way. If they could get a game, I'd be happy with that. If they can get a game, I kind of.
It's not going to
They're not
happen.
gonna. It's not gonna be look, man. Greg said it perfectly the last few weeks. Minnesota played. Even though they got 5 guys on the floor, that makes 10 pair of hands. They look like they played with about 14 pair of hands because if you spin, they just always get their hands on the ball and they're out and running. And
You mean the Thunder?
The Thunder. I'm sorry, the Thunder. And they get out and run. They got answers everywhere. I don't think Holmgren is as good as everybody else thought, and then he shut me up last
Sure
night.
is playing well.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
They're a good team, man. They're a really good team.
You know who's in trouble there? In street clothes again.
Jay Will.
Jay Will. I'd let him go. They got so many draft picks coming up. Jay Will he's imperiling that big contract. I wouldn't give him another big contract. Sorry. Anyway, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Right. Well, he signed it last summer. So
Well, that's what that's the last one he's gonna sign.
What do you think of that series, David?
3 or 4-0. If it's not a sweep, OKC ought to be ashamed of themselves. I mean, the Lakers can't play with OKC. And even though Jay Will's on the bench, the other Jay Will let me say this. Why does a team have two guys with the same name? Why? That's ridiculous. But I'm gonna shut up.
But you know what? The game was an 18-point win. But if Reeves had got going, or if
Reeves
LeBron
isn't
had
as good. He's not that good.
it could have been closer than it. It looks like a blowout, and it was a blowout, but
Yes, it was a blowout.
it was close for a little while. I mean, for about 2.5 quarters.
When it was 0-0.
Greg,
No,
your
it was
thought
up-
on this series?
They was up 7-0.
It's a 4-0 sweep. I don't see how the Lakers win a game. I'm telling you, the Thunder, and I'll say it for the 1700th time, they have the best defensive hands in the NBA. You put the ball anywhere near them, and it's gone. And they're off to the races. They know they shoot the three, and when they're not making the three, they take it to the basket. They are fundamentally sound. I think they are hitting on all cylinders. And to tell you the truth, they're not even really missing Jay Will, if you want to. I mean, they're not really missing him. Now I do think they're a better team when he's in, but they're not really missing him, man. They got this one kid they drafted, this left-handed kid. He's a pretty he's a pretty good a substitute, man. But they're Holmgren. I didn't think Chet Holmgren was going to be this good. He's gotten better every year. He's blocking shots. He's getting lobs. He's slamming it, and he's just focused. I love the way he's playing.
They held SGA to 18 points and still lost by 18.
He didn't draw as many fouls as he usually does because they're letting them play. They're not calling that. They're not calling a lot of those fouls, man. But I think it's a 4-game sweep. I still think it's a 4-game sweep.
They were triple teaming him, and he was giving the ball up.
Yeah.
And the other guys were making open shots. So I wonder if the Lakers will try something different. Because if other guys going to hit open shots, they're going to be in trouble. But I got to give Reddick, he tried something. He tried something.
Yeah.
Okay, we're almost out of time. Last series, who's going to win? Pistons or Cavaliers, Greg?
I got to go with the Pistons. The Cavaliers, I think Atkinson will figure out a way. Even if he has a chance, he'll figure out a way to blow it. But I think the Pistons, they've finally figured out what it takes to win. I think they'll do it. And Cade Cunningham is just on fire, man on fire.
Chuck, Pistons or Cavaliers?
I like the Pistons. In this series, I think they might have their hands full against the Knicks if it gets to that situation. But right now, I think the Pistons.
David, who do you got?
I think it's an even series. I think it's a toss-up. It'll be 3-3, Game 7. Oh, somebody's crying.
They didn't like your answer.
Yeah, that's
if I have to pick, I think this is a time that James Harden is going to wake up because the Pistons only have Cade Cunningham as an offensive threat.
Tobias Harris finally played a good game the other day.
He's Tobias Harris.
He scored over 24 times in this series.
Clutch.
He's the Joker.
And Doran, they got to wake him up. He didn't play well against Orlando, but he had a sequence in the game the other night that he was awesome.
Well, they worked it to him on purpose a few times when he was dunking on it.
Hey, let me just say one thing about James Harden. He may not be my favorite player. I think he holds the ball too long and sometimes takes his team out of the offense. But he ain't no punk. He don't back down from nobody. James Harden has got guts. I give him that,
Like
man.
Kung Fu.
Okay.
You're right, Kung Fu.
We're almost out of time, so I got 2 more questions for y'all. Rapid fire. Who would be your MVP right now if you had to pick one for the series, for the playoffs so far? Chuck, who do you think would be the MVP for the playoffs?
Am I first? You went to me first?
Yes.
Look, I think that's a really hard question, Larry. I really do. But I would say it's Cade Cunningham or Brunson, those two.
Okay. David, who do you
That's a
have?
tough question.
SGA.
SGA?
Yes.
Greg, who do you have?
I got to go with Cade because he resurrected them from the dead. They were dead.
Yeah.
He resurrected them.
Here's the last question, my second trivia question. We all know that it's been about 6 or 7 years since an American has won the MVP in the NBA. Who were the first two non-Americans to win MVP in the NBA?
Oh, first two.
And this is kind of a tricky question. I'll tell you a while when y'all give me the answers.
Dirk Nowitzki.
That's a good one. That is a good one.
I don't know if he was first though.
And Steve Nash.
That's
Okay.
another good one. Canada.
That's a good one.
Any other guesses?
No, those are two good ones.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that.
The first one was Akeem Olajuwon.
Oh, of course.
Chuck, I thought you were going to say it.
I almost said it. I swear to God, I know. I almost said it, but I just wanted to keep the show moving.
The second one is a matter of debate. I think the correct answer is Steve Nash, but when I looked it up, they had San Antonio from the Virgin Islands.
Tim Duncan.
Oh, Tim Duncan.
Even though I think the
Why?
Virgin
No,
Islands
he's an
is part of
American.
That's a
He's
US.
an American.
That's a US.
part of the
Virgin
United
Islands.
States.
US
That's what I'm
Virgin-
saying.
Yeah.
So
US
really,
Virgin
Steve Nash
Islands, he is
Steve
an
Nash is the
American.
correct
Almost
answer.
said it.
Wow, good call.
He's an American.
Good
Okay.
trivia.
I almost said it too. God dog it.
I
All
never
right,
get it
so
right, but I always love them though.
Yeah.
But
It's
Akeem
time for the final.
Olajuwon.
David usually does pretty well in this. I'm impressed.
I have to slap myself because I miss.
Can I help you?
I know you want to.
Chuck, you gotta slap yourself because you said two of the syllables of his name, and then you stopped.
I just wanted to move. Yeah.
Closing comments. Greg, you have any?
I don't have any.
Chuck, you have any?
Okay, I do. So this is just real quick. So I'm wearing 49 tonight because Charles Siesta 3 got released on Saturday by the Raiders. And it's melancholy for me because the Raiders gave him an opportunity. 2.5 years the kid has been there, played in actual games, sacked Deshaun Watson to win the game against Cleveland 2 years ago, picked off Shador last year on his first interception from the linebacker spot and ran it back 20 yards. Just to see him come out of the tunnel in a real NFL game as a parent, knowing all the work he's put in, undrafted free agent, in that black and silver, man, I swear I'll never say anything bad about the Raiders, but he is open for business. So if there's a team out there looking for a 6'7", 250-pound DN or outside linebacker, I've got one in the basement.
It won't be long. It won't be long.
He'll get it. Somebody will call him.
Yes.
David, closing comments.
I do have a closing comment, and this is a well-deserved rest in peace to Ted Turner, 87-year-old mogul, media mogul. He did so many things for media, for television. He started WTBS in Atlanta, Channel 17, which kind of birthed the Atlanta Braves. He went on to own the Atlanta Braves. He owned the Hawks for a while. He started CNN, the first 24-hour all news cable channel. His impact can't be denied, and he was controversial. He spoke his mind. He was somebody to be respected. He was controversial, but he was also funny, and he was a guy that didn't suffer fools. Rest in peace, Ted Turner.
And a great yachter or a boater. He used to captain some of those ships or some of those races. He was a very competitive guy in that whole area too.
Wow.
Yeah, I think he's touched just about everybody in America in some manner. One way or
Absolutely.
another.
Absolutely. Real pioneer.
How about you, Larry? Any closing comments from you?
Yeah, mine is going to be called Next Man Up. All right. I'm a diehard basketball fan. I love 7-game series, but I can't recall a season, even though this first round was great, where there have been so many injuries to starters in the NBA. Just to name in the Western Conference, the Lakers, Doncic and Reeves have missed time. San Antonio, Wembanyama has missed time. Denver, Aaron Gordon has missed time. Minnesota, DiVincio, Edwards, and their third guard, Sunu, all who played well have missed time. Oklahoma City, J-Dub has missed times. Houston, Durant. Phoenix, their center Mark Williams has missed time. You know, nobody thought they would necessarily win, but that's their center in the playoffs. Same thing in the East, hasn't been as bad, but Embiid has missed time. Ingram has missed time for the Raptors, as well as their starting point guard quickly missed the whole series. Jason Tatum missed the game 7. Wagner missed the game 7 for the Magic. The Hawks, one big man, Jack Londane, not a household name, but he's the only center they had. They ended up having to play a game with nothing but forwards. And, you know, they took the Knicks to 6 games, but something, I don't know what's going on in the NBA. I don't know whether it's trainers or something, but we have too many injuries. But my hat goes off to the players that are there. They're giving us everything they got. Let's keep it going. I'm hoping Doncic can come back. You know, when I turn the TV on, I want him back there. I want Embiid to come back. But hats off to the players that are playing. But, gosh, we got to look into this the NBA, come figure out some way to keep these guys healthy.
Season too long.
It's the shoes.
Well, that's all we have for today. I want to thank everybody for tuning in and your comments. It's been great. See the jerseys that Chuck's displaying.
These two guys took him under his wing, man, and they taught him and trained him. And
Good
these two
men.
guys, I'll never say anything bad about both of them.
Yeah.
Okay. Good to hear that. They can become some of my favorite players under number 49 or whatever number he has next year. Charles Snowden. Hey, look, who's that? David, are you next week?
I believe so.
Okay. So we want to thank everybody for tuning in, and we'll see everybody next week with David Burnett will be the host. Take care and have a great evening and enjoy the playoffs.
Great
job,
show.
Larry.
Great show. Nicely done.
Couldn't have done it without you guys.